Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us. All right. Please go ahead and say hello if you're jumping on here to hang out. Love to know who's hanging out with us. And I am going to quickly see about sharing us out there. All right. Let's see if I can't find our live here on the iPad. And there it is. And we are going to no. That's not what we wanted to do. Okay, let's see. That's not what we wanted to. We want to share. There it goes. Groups. There's the VIP. And our team. Hopefully I did that correctly and we're not in some weird. Hey, Sue. Hopefully we're not in some weird group and they're going, who is this crazy person live in my feed? Thank you for sharing, Sue. I do appreciate that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started because I do have a few things to tell you about before we get straight into stamping. And oh my gosh, love the stamps that we're doing tonight. But real quick, Paper Pumpkin. Today is the 11th. So Paper Pumpkin is shipping out tomorrow for the January kit. So believe it or not, we are now in the February subscription period called Celebrate Spring. Not that it sounds anything like spring outside right now. The wind is howling. I don't know what it's like where you are, Sue, and down in Rome there, but here on the tug, it is blowing like crazy. It sounds like a ghost out my window here having a party. But this one's called Celebrate Spring. It is going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. It says craft whimsical handmade cards that celebrate Easter and sweet spring days. You're going to receive pre-cut paper pieces and pink baker's twine, iridescent pink and yellow sequins, and the coordinating colors will be balmy blue, crumb cake, lemon lolly, peach pie, pretty in pink, and shy shamrock, with your ink spot being shy shamrock, which is an awesome color. You have some wind and snowing. Yeah, it's been snowing here too. A couple times it snowed really hard, but now it's like a fine snow, but the wind is horrendous. The February kit will still coordinate with the Beautiful Blooms add-on dies. This is while supplies last. Currently, they are still available. You get these cute little tulips with the little leafy thing, and then the word beautiful, and then this really cute postage type piece. Oh, hey, Lori. So glad you could join. Next, I wanted to talk to you about the product of the month. As you know, starting in December, Stampin' Up! Launched a new program called Product of the Month. And each month, there's a new product that comes out that you can purchase for $5 as long as you place a qualifying order. So to qualify, if you place an order of $75 or more in a single order, you automatically qualify to add to your order for $5 the product of the month. Last month, we had the 12 by 12 beautiful paper that was blue. I can't even remember the name of it now, but I did get it. Gorgeous paper. This month, it is a stamp set. It is 11 photopolymer stamps, and it comes in these words. It's fabulous sayings. You're on my mind. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Hooray. Just because. Hello. Sending love. There are simply no words for this. To a fabulous friend, you can do anything. So a really nice stamp set for all around occasions. Hey, sis. So glad you could make it. Yeah. Ugh. We've got a lot of snow out there, and I'm not impressed. I was hoping when we had that little warm up that we would lose. We did lose quite a bit, but it's still a couple of feet out there. Icky, ugly, nasty, and now the snow is back. So anyways, a really nice all-around stamp set to have. So if you do place a qualifying order, you can add that on. Again, it's $5 with a qualifying order. Also, Stampin' Up! Has a card retreat coming up January 22nd through 23rd. It is from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is a Saturday. I believe it's a Saturday, Sunday event. It is 2 days. You're going to make a whole bunch of cards, 15 to be exact, during the 2-day event. Here's just a small sampling of the cards that you'll make. You do have the ability to purchase the 2026 virtual card making retreat kit. It is $165, but you get everything you need to make all 15 cards. And it sounds like a really fun little event that Stampin' Up! Is putting on. You will want to order that sooner rather than later. The kits are still available, but if you want to make sure you have it in time for the 22nd, you would definitely want to get that order in. Hey, Arlene, so glad you could join. And then, of course, bonus days. For every $50 you place in orders, you will earn a $5 coupon. In case you didn't notice, this year Stampin' Up! Has retired the old celebration. So there's no little mini catalogs with celebration items that you can earn. They found that that was no longer, people just weren't buying to get the freebies anymore. So they decided to retire that program. But in its place, we do have bonus days, which does, again, reward you for every $50 you spend. You get a $5 coupon. So if you spend $50, you get the $5 coupon. If you spend $100, you get 2 $5 coupons. And you'll be able to redeem those in February, starting the 3rd through the 28th. So for the whole month of January and on February 1st and 2nd, you'll be able to earn coupon codes. And then starting the 3rd, you'll be able to redeem those coupon codes for more product. So just some fun things to think about. And now I'm all done with my storytelling here. The other thing I did want to remind you of is, what happened here? That's not what I wanted. There it is. The card genie. I do have that card design genie available to help out with any card making needs. If you need a little assistance in maybe coming up with a plan with your stamp set, you can just put your stamp set name in there, tell it what you want to make, a birthday card, a thinking of you card, a sympathy card. She will give you all kinds of ideas, or you could ask for instructions on doing a specific card fold, fancy fold. She will give you the measurements. So my card design genie is out there to help you. You just use this QR code. It will help you get there. You will need a free ChatGPT account to use her, but she is very friendly and she's waiting for you to ask for help. I know Sue here has checked her out. She can tell you from firsthand experience, she's a handy dandy little friend to have in your back pocket, especially if you just get stuck. All right, let's get back to stamping. All right, today we are focusing on the Pop Up Petals embossing folder. Wow, where'd that come from? Stamp set and die bundle. So it is a bundle, and these 2 dies here have a fun little function, and we're going to show you how to use it. So let's show you what we're making tonight. So the first card is just what it says, pop-up card. So we have our thanks for being there, and then you pop it up, and you have this little flower that pops up at you. And that pop-up die creates the little mechanism that makes the pop-up for you. Isn't that cool? So you can make all kinds of pop-ups. So that die, you're going to want to use it with all kinds of other stamp sets besides this one. Then we kept the rest of our cards super simple. We have You Get Me, and I appreciate that. Super simple. No hard work there. Actually, the designer series paper is doing all the work. And I will show you what paper pack we are using for this. And this one is Grateful for Your Friendship. And again, the paper is doing most of the work with a little stamping and die cutting. All right. So the paper that I am featuring tonight with our bundle is called Lovely Blossoms. It is 12 by 12. And what makes it a fun paper pack is it does have 3 sheets of each design. And one of the patterns is these little panels here. So this one here, you cut it at 6 inches. So now you have a panel that is 4 by 6. And then these ones here turn out to be 3 inches by 4 inches. And then we have these 2-inch, get that in the camera here, the 2-inch square pieces that you can cut out. So you have all these different patterns, and I am going to show you how to use these in your designs. So we're going to go ahead and put this back, and then I'll show you the rest of the patterns in this pack. But I really focused on that sheet in particular. As you can see, I have all kinds of cuts in here that we used. But let's show you the rest. The back side of that has a nice tone-on-tone stripe pattern. Then this, we have the floral on one side, and on the back side we have this petal pink tone-on-tone. And again, that back here, like little plus sign type floral image. Then again, like I said, there's 3 sheets of each. This one here is the white floral on a crumb cake background, and the back side is Secret C with this little diamond pattern. That's that. And then we have this floral on petal pink with the Secret C leaf. And then the backside is Old Olive, and that looks like a very worn type either typed that's really worn from like a typewriter or something, or computer type, or maybe even like a linen fabric. It's hard to explain it, but it's got a textured look to it. I don't know if I can get that close enough for you to see what I'm talking about. So just a fun pattern in the Old Olive. So that is the Lovely Blossoms designer series paper. All right, let's get stamping. We're going to start with our pop-up card first. So we're going to set that one there. And for that, we bring in, I have a thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We need our bone folder here. Bear with me while I make a crash, boom, and bang here. Good gravy. Okay, I think we got everything. So we're going to go ahead and fold that in half. We're going to burnish our fold so we have a nice crisp fold here. Okay. Next, I have one of those panels from our designer series paper. So this one is one of the 3 by 4 panels, and that'll attach there like so. But before we get into that, I did want to show, to do our pop-up piece, I have another piece of basic white. This is just straight up basic white. It's not the thick, it's the regular. And this is cut 4 inches. No, it is cut 5 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches, and it's scored at 4 1/8 inch. Wow, say that really fast. So again, it's 8 1/4 by 5 1/4, scored at 4 1/8. So we can leave it flat like this for the moment. And then we're going to find our dies. And we want this one here. It's the shorter of the two. There's two of them. We want the shorter one. Actually, let's get this right out of there. And then you're going to notice on your die, Stampin' Up is genius. They make it so that there's no messing up. So I don't know if you see on the die, you see, first of all, this little ridge, that's what lines up with your score line. But you also have these little points, because you can't, obviously, once you put this down, you're not going to see where that ridge is to line up. So these little points here line up. Oh, hey, Barb, so glad you're here. No worries. We're really just getting started. We're making a pop-up card. So again, just showing this little die here, and I'll see if you can, there you go. Now you can see the little points on each end. That's what lines up in your score line. So we're going to get this lined up on our score line. We want it in the center of our card. And I'm going to get some Post-it tape here. Okay, so we want this nice and straight. Get those. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so that's lined up. I don't know if I can get that in there focused enough. Yep, I did. There you go. So you can see those points are right on that score line. So now I'm going to try to bring my big boss over here so we can run that through. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. This is why we use our baby boss more often. Okay, so we have here, I'll show you, our primary plate, number 1, and then we have the number 2 shim, our number 3 plate, and we put our cardstock in there. Make sure that's not quite. There we go. Now it's in the, put our next plate on top of that. And then we're just going to run that through. Okay. So now I'm going to remove our die. And then this gets pushed in while we fold. Well, let's go ahead and fold our card. And then this piece gets pushed in. There it goes. And then I just like to take my bone folder and crisp up those folds there, which are made by the die when you cut it. So now we have our little pop-up mechanism there. And this is what we attach our little flower base to when it's ready. All right, so next, again, let's just do that. We want our card base back. And this is just going to go on the inside, just like so. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close that. Try not to move anything. Just let everything stay the way you cut it. And then we're just going to go ahead and close like so. Oh, hey, Kay. So glad you could join. All right, we're going to flip it over and do the same thing. And we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. I will say probably Tear tape would be a good adhesive to use here to make sure you have a really good, strong adhesive to make sure that stays in place. But there's our nice pop-up piece. And now we can go ahead and finish the rest of our card. All right, so let's bring back where there it is. We have our panel. We're going to go ahead and add that to the left side of our card, like so. Then I want the sentiment. Thanks for being there. And we want our secret C ink pad. Oh, hey, Bronna Sue. So glad you could join us. All right, so we have thanks for being there. And I'm actually going to open that up for a minute and just make sure everything looks straight. And we have thanks for being there. All right, we can close that for just a minute. So now we need all of our parts. We have 2 vases we need. And then we need the floral bouquet. And then we need the one little flower for the inside. So I have a few scrap pieces of basic white. And let's find our jar first. We need 2 of those. So did I do with? There it is. We're going to bring in our little cushion. I want to make sure we get good impressions, being we're working with photopolymer here. So we're going to make sure we're inked up really well. This is our Secret C ink pad. All right. So now I'm going to stamp my first and now I need my second. This stamp set is called Pop Up Petals. There we go. Pop Up Petals. All right. So put that aside for a few. And then we need our bouquet. And for that, I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo black ink. Ink that up nicely. And that's going to go right. And we need our, not that flower. Where is the, there it is. Sure it will. All right. And then we're going to take our Memento and we're going to ink up our second flower. We're just going to put that right there. Like so. Okay. So we have our flowers all stamped. Oh, hey, Sherry, didn't see you pop in. All right. Now, the other fun thing the Stampin' Up! Did is they gave us stamps to fill in all of these things. I have my flower, my leaf, I have my little sunflower or daisies, whatever you want them to be. And then I have the little centers. And I think that does it. All right. So for my little flower centers, we're going to use Darling Duckling. So we're just going to ink up our little spots in Darling Duckling. And we're just going to go ahead and line up those little, no, I think I have it backwards. All right. There we go. There's our little flower centers. We're going to close that up. Then I need my petal pink. And we're going to do our flower petals. And that's the way we got to get that inked up in petal pink. Okay, and now we're just going to line these up like so. So there's our little flowers, all pretty pink. Now let's keep this. We gotta do this flower. So we're gonna ink that up in the petal pink. And that is gonna go like so. And then we need our old olive. And that's going to do our stem. Okay, and then this. I will do that, Sherry. Thank you. Okay, so now our leaves are colored in. Now, this one doesn't have a leaf piece to color it in. So for that, I am just using my light old olive. And I'm just going to color in those leaves real quick like a bunny. Like so. So that's all there is to coloring those in. All right. I'm going to put our cushion away here. And we're going to bring in our baby boss. And before we get too crazy, we need our dies. So we're going to start with this one here. Get that all lined up. Oh my. That wind sounds like it really wants to like knock the house down. Like it'll huff and it'll puff and it'll blow the house down. Oh. I'm not a wind fan, I can tell you. All right, now we have our little bouquet here. Get that all. That looks pretty good right there. Another little piece. Okay. And then we want our little vase here. All right, so we need plates. Run those through. Flour. And I'm going to get our base here so we can run that through again. So there's one base. Set those aside. And we're going to line this vase up. actually. Let's flip that around. All right, now all of our die cuts are done for this card. And we'll put you back there. Oop. Put these where we don't lose them like we like to do around here. And we need our okay, there we are. Okay, that can go into the garbage. And now we have our bouquet. And I'm going to go ahead and add a glue dot. Oops. Not to the leaf, but to the stems. So now that glue dot will attach it right to the base. So that goes on like so. And we can bring in our dimensionals. And we're just going to add a couple. Like so. And then for this flower has the two sets of leaves. So you have the upper leaves and then you have these bottom leaves. Well, leaving the flower sticking up that high just didn't seem quite right. And then if you tried to stick them down in, they peeked out of the base in a weird. You had that wind in Missouri last night. Oh, God bless you. It's awful. Like I said, it sounds like the ghosts of Christmas past having a party out there. So what I did is I gave this little rose or whatever flower you want to call this a little haircut. So we just snipped off our leaf on that side and we snipped off our leaf on this side. So these little leaves are going to go right into our little garbage can here. And now I'm going to take a glue dot and add it to the neck-ish part of my little jar base here. And then I'm just going to stick my flower right into that glue dot. Like so. Now this is for the one on the inside. So this is our pop-up flower. So I'm going to flatten this out for a minute. And I am just going to add, where did I put my adhesive? Right here. Just going to add a little adhesive there. Make sure that doesn't pop. So now I can add my base right to that. Close it. Make sure it's stuck down. And there it is. When you open your card, the little pop-up comes up. All right, next, we're going to peel our backing off here. And this is going to kind of go right about there. And then to finish this card, what did I do? I have the Pearls of Beauty. So these are the Pearls of Beauty. They are white and I can't remember the color. And then crumb cake. So we're just going to open this up. And we are going to use the crumb cake I can find my take your pick tool. Get that putty. All right, so we're just gonna do 1, 2, and 3. And that completes our card. All right. Like I said, I love the set. I thought it was really cute. And I'm loving these designer series paper because, again, it makes super easy cards. And then you pair it with an awesome stamp set like this, and you got a win-win. All right, next up. Thank you, ladies. This, you get me, and I appreciate that. All right, so for this card, again, real simple. We have a crumb cake card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead and fold on our score line, bring in that bone folder, and burnish out our edge for a nice, crisp little fold. Then I have a panel of Secret C that I cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I have one of the little panels from the designer series paper that I cut. This has got the little white flower with the Secret C leaves with the crumb cake background and then the little border of white. Now you could, if you are really good with scissors, you could do a where you trim this all out, have that little leaf peeking over. That would be a fun way to do it if you are one who enjoys fussy cutting. But I like simple. We're just cutting it out. We're keeping the white border, and we're just going to layer it onto our Secret C piece here because I like quick and simple. And this is something, if you are a brand new to stamping, this is like the perfect card for you. Not a lot of stamping to go with it. You just have to stamp your sentiment and you're good to go. So we're going to start layering these pieces. If I can get it straight. No, that is not straight. Oh, for the love of. There we go. I'll tell you, that wind is very distracting. And I'm really hoping that the power holds out with it because holy moly. Speaking of power, sis, I hope you've got power still. There we go. She tends to lose power when the wind just has a hiccup. All right. Still not straight. What the heck am I looking at today? That is not good at all. Hang on a minute. I know I've told you this trick before, but in case you're watching for the first time, our adhesive is really, really good. And it doesn't like to come up. But if you huff on it, you can get it back up without tearing your paper. All right, now I've curled my paper, though, so now I'm never going to get this straight. I don't think. Maybe. There, that's better. Good gravy. Okay. There we go. So now we have our panel. Flip that over. We're going to add some dimensionals. And one for the center, because we do not like the saggy centers. Oh, I hope and pray, sis, because holy, this is not the night to be losing it, that's for sure. All right, and then this just goes on the center of our card. Just like so. All right, next, I have a piece of basic white. And we want our sentiment. Where did I do with that? You get me. Okay. So now we want our secret C ink pad again. And we are going to go ahead and ink up that stamp with You Get Me. And I appreciate that. All right. Everything's nice and straight. You get me, and I appreciate that. Close this up. Now, for this, I used the Everyday Arches, and I used the smallest of the dies right here. Get it out now. There we go. So this is the Everyday Arches, and we want to make sure that our flat side goes that way. And that straight. And put another little piece on for good measure. Okay. I do like to put the bullet end in first, just because it does help with keeping things nice and smooth and not necessarily jumping around. This stamp set is one of the online exclusives. Yes. Sorry, Barb, I didn't see that until just now, but yes, it is an online exclusive stamp set. It is. It is. It was in the November release. So it's actually been out there for a little bit, but I stuck with the Christmas theme through the holidays and avoided the extra noise that was going on with all of the online exclusives that came out that were non-holiday. So and now there's even more online exclusives that have come out, believe it or not. All right, so now, once again, we need our dimensionals. I'm just going to take a couple of them. And this is going to go right here. And then we're going to bring back these pretty little pearls here. And we're using the white ones. Another little one right there. And that one is done in lickety split. Here comes the train down through the porch. That wind is something. Absolutely something. I can't believe you can't hear it. And it's funny, you can hear it really good up here in my office. You can hear it really good in our bedroom and our master bath. And downstairs in our living room, you can't hear it at all. It's bizarre. The queen of easy peasy. You bet your butt I am the queen of easy peasy. I am not anything about difficulty. I want to be able to make quick, easy cards, but I want them to be beautiful. All right, we are on to our final card already, and this is our Grateful for Your Friendship card. This one, again, super simple. And for this one, we have a thick, basic white card base. And that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold on our score line and burnish our fold so we have a nice fold on our card. Then I took a couple of those panels. I took another of the 3 by 4, and I took one of the 2 by 2 and put them together to create a little background for my card. Because I wanted you to see these 2 by 2s are just as useful as our 3 by 4s and the other. So this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add adhesive. And this is going to go about center left. So more left, but centered. So that looks pretty good right there. Then we're going to take our 2 by 2 piece, put our little flowers there, and we're going to add our adhesive to this as well. And now this is going to go overlapped the center of that 3 by 4, but it's going to go more right. So that looks pretty good. Like so. Well, thanks, Barb. I am so glad you like them. All right. So next, I have some scrap here, and I need my oh, goodness gracious. I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I am using the number 2 die here for my die cut circle. And set that aside here. So I need that again. All right, so for that one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut out with our little baby boss here. Need our plates. And we're just going to use I need new plates. My paper's starting to stick. So that's going to go there. And let's put this back in so we do not lose it. There we go. This can go here. All right. Oh, flyaway plates. This goes in the garbage. And we can go ahead and add our dimensionals to our circle and go ahead and add that to our project here. And that's just going to go right about center. Maybe not quite, but it's a little off center, but it's going to just go over that little 2x2 and our 3x4 or 4x3, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Next, I have some more scraps here. So we can stamp all right, so we're going to start with our base. So we have a different base here, and that's going to be done in Secret C. So we're going to ink up. We should probably bring back our cushion. And get that inked up really well. All right, now we have our little base here. Next, close this up for the time being. Actually, you know what? Let's while we have it open, let's do our sentiment too. So I have another scrap, and that is for our grateful for your friendship. Not as well since we have the blue already open. Grateful for your friendship. All right, so now we can close up the blue. We're finished with that. And we need the Memento Black because we are going to stamp 2 flowers. We need 2 of them. And we need a butterfly. So there's our butterfly. All right. Next, I'm going to get my Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to do our little, I'm calling these tulips. We're going to do our tulip petals. So that's just going to go in like so. Close that up. And then goodness. We're going to bring back our old olive, and I'm using the light. And we're just going to color in our leaf and our stems. Okay. Then I'm going to take the dark and I'm just going to do my butterfly body there. And then I'm taking the light flirty flamingo and I'm filling in my butterfly wings. I'm going to take that dark flirty flamingo and then just a couple of little spots to add a little extra color. And then a little blend. Okay. These are all done. We are going to find our coordinating dies. So we have our little base here. And we have the little butterfly. And they did give us more than one butterfly die. Of course, I only needed one butterfly for this card, but if there is a second one, if you needed more, you could cut two out at the same time. Unfortunately, the flowers, we only got one. So we'll have to run this through a couple of times, but that's okay. We're almost done. Okay. And we need our circle dies here. We're going with the third smallest. So if you're counting from the inside out, it would be the number 3 die. If you were counting from the outside in, it would be the number 4 die. And that we're going to tack down as well so it doesn't move around on us. All right, baby boss. Plates. We can run that through this. All right, maybe get that down a little bit. Okay, there's our sentiment. We have one flower. Run these through. And now we'll just go ahead. Power goes there. Line up the next one. All right. Now all of our die cutting is complete. We can finish assembling our card. All right. So now we're just going to get all of our die cuts removed here. So there's a flower. That goes in our trash bin. Our base. And our butterfly. Sentiment. Okay, bring all of our pieces together here. So for our sentiment, we can go ahead and add just a couple of dimensionals. And I want to make sure they're on the right-hand side, because the left is going to be kind of sitting on top here, like so. All right, so now our little butterfly, he's going to get a glue dot. And she is just going to fly off right there. And same thing, dimensionals, glue dots for our little, actually, you know what? I didn't use glue dots. This is what we did. Adhesive. We did. More on this edge here. There we go. So then we have let's get that up a little bit more. There we go. There's one tulip. And then this one's going to go down just a little bit lower. And that goes like so. And then this is where the dimensionals come in. And then these pretty pearls again. Using the white. And like so. And that finishes this card as well. Oh, well, thank you, my scrapbook loft. I'm so glad you found us. Awesome. We go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we're love to welcome you to come hang out with us. We have all kinds of fun here. All right, quick recap of our pretty little cards that were super easy to make. So this was card number 3. Here is our second card we made. You get me? I appreciate you. And again, that was super simple, letting all of our designer series paper do the work. And then, of course, our first card, which was our fun pop-up. Thanks for being there. Oh, I'm so glad, ladies. I am so glad you like them. Thank you so much. Of course, Miss Kay, it was my pleasure to share them. All right, ladies. If you are not on my mailing list yet, definitely get on there. I will be sending out the PDF with all of the instructions for these cards. So make sure you're on my mailing list. It will also be up on my blog by tomorrow as well. But tomorrow the email goes out and it does have the PDF tutorial to create these as well, because it'll include measurements and product that I use so that you can certainly make these yourself. Oh, Barb, you are so welcome. Yes, so the link to get on my email list, if you're not already on it, is in the description of this video, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. So you just use that link, get in on my mailing list, and you will get the instructions for that as well. All right, my friends, thank you again for coming to hang out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I wish you all a blessed evening and an even better week ahead. Bye for now.